Hello, hello, hello. I guess we do have another video. Uh, well, I guess obvious title, what you decided to share with the world. That sounds like a good title for this video. Okay, so we do have another video coming up, and let's explore this a little bit deeper. Okay, so obviously, this is something that is going on around the world in modern days that we are currently living in. And the fact that women are being pressured to look in a certain way. Women are being pressured to look a certain way. And it's like a jog. It's like a jog that they can't escape. It's like a drug you can't escape because the only way to actually get attention is that you have to actually look a certain ways and you have to share what you have with the world. You have to share your body with the world, and this is what people want to see, and this is what they're willing to pay money for. But at the end of the day, you gotta ask yourself, is that all that you have to offer? Is it all that women have to offer? A nice, sexy looking body. Is that all a woman get to offer? Well, let's just say maybe 2 or 3 years from now, will her body look the same? No. After a child, will her body look the same? No. And what happened when when her breast beginning to get saggy? And then what happened when the skin beginning to get wrinkles? And then what happened when the gray hair beginning to kick in? Yeah, that's the reality. So pretty much 997 hearts and 803 requests, friend requests. I would say all of them are just straight mail. Messages 530. How the hell is somebody supposed to respond to 530 messages? Oh, 530 people who's just trying to bang it. You can't. But she is getting the attention that she wants. And the reality is, if you're pretty, there's a lot of shit that you don't gotta worry about. It just literally just come to you. I mean, since there's no face on this drawing, but let's just say that you think this woman actually gonna go get a job and do certain things. If she decided to use her body to make her money, sure, she don't have to. But question is, how far is she willing to take it? Because you got different people out there who got different preferences, and she may not be into do certain things. But will she do it for the money or not? Well, that's the reality of the world that we're currently living in. And this is what most men are chasing. Most men are chasing something that look good, something that they can show off with. But that will not get you too far. And I would actually advise women that, hey, your body is temporarily. I mean, you can push the clock back a little bit, but the clock ain't always gonna be able to push back. Eventually, you're gonna hit a breaking point. But usually, a smart woman would actually hold a man down while she is in her prime, versus being 30 with 3, 4 kids and trying to hold on to a bunch of trying to find a high value man. Just like Kevin Samuel be saying that you got 4 or 5 kids, each one of them with a different baby daddy, and then now you're looking for a man who makes 6 figure. I'm like, what kind of bullshit is that? Like, what kind of fairy tale are you currently living in? Which it is a fairy tale because these people literally think that they can get a man who's making 6 figure, making 300,000 a year to go take care of three other kids from a bunch of couple deadbeat guys. I'm like, I mean, most men will bang it if the women look like this, but once they bang it, that's it. Because the reality is, from the second that a woman sleep with a man, she lose all her control, she lose all her power. But at the same time, she can't hold it forever. She can't hold it forever. So, and then it's kind of funny how people are, I don't know, trying to brag how many body count that they had, especially female. I mean, same thing applied to male too as well. And a lot of time they're gonna talk about their body count. They're gonna say, "Oh, I slept with this number of women." Well, women don't like to share the body count, but guys do it just to brag. But the reality is, the real conversation is the disease. Okay, that's the real conversation that they actually never had. STDs. I mean, I'm just saying, you sleep with 120 guys, which to me still every time. I mean, sometimes I don't know if they're being real or not. But how the fuck you sleep with 100 men, 120 men? Like, do they just line up and then you just they run a train on you or some shit like that? Or every night is a different guys, in a week how many different guys you sleep with? Like, I mean, a lot of the times I don't think that shit is real though. I mean, sometimes people will exaggerate about it, but at the same time, people also tell the truth. Uh, they also sometimes people also let their guard down and tell the truth too as well. But yeah, that is crazy. Uh, Honestly, sometimes I don't always believe it, but the real conversation is how many times have they gotten this self check, and how many other people have they spread all these disease. Wait, to be honest with you, I don't think it's worth it because we can brag about it, which is great, but the real conversation is when you go to take a leak and that shit hurt. Yeah, that's the real conversation. Every time you go to pee and then it burn. Yeah, nah, I think I'm good with that department. I think I'm good. Even if it was free, I don't give a shit. But just because it's free, I ain't gonna stick my fingers on everything that I see. I ain't gonna stick my fingers in every pie that I'm able to stick my fingers in it. Just because I can doesn't mean that I have to. Because the reality is, from the second that you choose to sleep with a woman, you voluntarily accept to deal with anything that she currently have. Like any type of disease that she currently have, you voluntarily, freely says, "Yep, sign me up for that." Literally, sign me up for that. And honestly, it is the same thing for the women too as well. For every guy that you allowed inside of you, you literally saying that, "Yep, sign me up for it. Sign me up for the TD. Sign me up for the STDs. Oh, sign me up for the crabs. Sign me up for the bumps." It's funny that how that is considered normal. And literally, some people have no regret, and some people have no problem with accepting disease just to say that they banged this lady, just to say that they banged her. But usually, the reality is when they gotta go to the doctors and when they gotta be taking those pills, and then that shit hit them in the face, just to let them know, hey, just because you want to have for a 30-minute good time getting the adrenaline, getting that dopamine thing, Like for a good 30 minutes, you're willing to give up the rest of your health. You're willing to trade all that for just a 30-minute good time. I mean, shit, let's be honest. For most people, once you release, that's it. Literally, that's it. But the reality is, you still have to deal with that disease for the rest of your life. It's funny how people just choose to accept all that negative that come with that 30-minute good time. Like literally, baby mama issues and this issues and that issues, like child support. I seriously do not understand how some people are able to deal with it. And the reality is, a woman can never fully satisfy a man. And then a woman can never fully make a man happy. I'm like, shit, it's your responsibility to make yourself happy. And it's the same way around too. A man can never fully make a woman happy. It's your responsibility to make yourself happy. Like your happiness should be depending from a whole other person. That shit doesn't make sense. But that's the reality. That's the reality. But my advice for anybody who listens to those videos, shit, to be honest with you, I don't even look at them. I just make it, upload it, and forget that they even existed. But yeah, for anybody who watch those videos, male, female, I try to remain neutral. Where I don't have to choose a part. But these are just my thought videos anyway. But like I said, I prefer to remain neutral and look at both sides from a third person perspective, and just talk about those things that are going on in real life. But yeah, for a female like that, I would say you should not have to show yourself out there in order to get people attention. Love somebody for who they are. Love them for their heart, because that's the real person. Because the body will always fade. There are so much shit going on in life to one point where it doesn't really. It helped, but it's not all that's in. There's more important things in life. Like literally, there are more important things in life. And for women who find themselves in these situations, girl, I would say, do you, girl. Chase your money, build yourself up. Okay? Because the reality is, a guy can come in and take advantage of you spiritually, emotionally, physically, and then leave. Guys can do that. Because they're guys. They don't got to carry the evidence. The women got to carry the evidence. You got to carry the child. And that's the evidence. You got to carry that evidence. But that's why, because the women got to carry the evidence, that's why she got to be the one who make the smart choice. Literally. Because you have to carry the evidence, you have to be the one who make the smart choice. You owe yourself responsibility to make the right choice because you carry the evidence. A guy can always deny, that ain't my kid, that ain't my kid, that ain't my kid. But you can't deny that ain't your kid because you're literally carrying the child. Advice, make smart decision. Okay? And you can't blame it, oh, I was young. The world does not give a shit how old you are. But I was only 18. Yeah, you were 18. And you think the world owe you a free pass? The world does not owe you a free pass because you use the excuse, I was young. The world does not give a shit. That's the cold, honest truth. The world does not give a shit. How old were you? You make the decision. You live with the consequence. Every action has a reaction. So you make the decision to sleep around with a bunch of random dudes. You deal with the consequence. And you can't say that I was young. So make better choices. Make smart choices. Don't go out there and having kids from 3 4 different guys and then thinking that, oh, I'm a high value woman. I'm like, girl, you do not allow yourself to be a bed where everybody come in and sleep for the night and then leave the next day. You don't want to be a bed where everybody come in and shit all over it and then leave the next day. You don't want to be somebody. You don't want to be in a position where people can view you. Oh, you're just a dumpster. Guys, let's go dump all our trash in it, and then leave. Female always have a lot much more they gotta put up with because they're all female. But at the same time, the female should always be the smart one. She should always be able to make the right decision. I'm not saying that every time that she have to make the right decision, but the female deal with more consequences. She deal with more consequences because of certain decisions. Like I said, from the second that you allowed a guy inside of you, which you control who come inside of you. You control who enter inside your house. You control all that aspect. 100% you control that. Except rape, can no guy actually come inside your home unless you allow him to come inside. So that's why you still have to choose who you let inside your world. Because some people come inside your world, they fucked up your world, and then after that they leave. And they don't give a shit. They just move on to the next one. And that's the sad reality. That's the sad reality. But hey, that's just how life is. Usually I think of it like this. The world represents a single tree. The world is a single tree, and each one of the leaves represent one person. So imagine a tree that has all these leaves in it, and each leaves is a story. Each leaf represents one person, and each one of these person has their own story. But at the end of the day, you choose who you let inside you, and the consequences always come. Make better decision. Make better decision for yourself, and make better decisions for your future children. Because the world is a bitch. The world is a bitch. Okay, I think that's all I had to say about this picture here.